Today we are going to find out what was in the basement. Okay, still so far. Nothing that I can see that they would want to hide.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Okay, that's still interesting, but what was so important about coming down here? There was way more to this than just going.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can. I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly. Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
So he was digging his way out because he couldn't stand to be in the house anymore.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
So he stayed down here all those years, waiting to find a way out.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
When he finally did, it was his downfall. So I'm guessing I can't go down. Oh, actually, yeah. No.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made, trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
So we're all foreshadowing the fact this story is being told to someone who is a descendant. Either born from someone else.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Charlie, 1993, 2007. So this means there's even more people we're going to discover.
Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery.
Edith Finch. Born August 26, 1952. Died March 31st, 2005.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
No! I got my own grave. Damn. Born December 1988. Died November 21st. 2009.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Wait. Yes, I thought you had a daughter. You had a daughter, you had a son, you were pregnant.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Gotta break down by the river.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hey!
That's a keeper. Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see. Maybe. Or was it? Could have been.
love when people add me to their flipping projects. Yes! Okay, let's read the first chapter. Narrator. Camera over Mark's face as he lays in bed. Yes! Narrator. Hello, my name is Mark. I'm different. Well, I will be in about 30 minutes away from now. I'll be able to read others' minds, whether it's a blessing or a curse. Like my as a joke, like my life. Like my life. Ah. Hello, my name's Mark. I'm different. Well, I think we'll be in about 30 minutes away from now. I'll be able to read others' minds, whether it's a blessing or a curse is up to me. Mark then pushes the covers off the bed. Take a just
You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo. Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Yes, I'm going after. Mark then pushes the covers off the bed and puts his feet on the ground. The camera then shows his feet from under the bed. The camera then shows a close-up shot on Mark's face, showing him Okay, here we go again. Camera then follows Mark as he walks to the bathroom for a shot. Approaches the sink. You can see from his eyes his own reflection as he turns on the tap and splashes his face. Scene 2. Camera is looking at Mark from a distance, walking towards the camera. Mark was walking on to work. Boss. God, do you know this one? He's looking directly at the phone screen. Phone shows a text saying, "You didn't do your laundry, Mark," with Mum as the contact. Close up on Mark's face. "Oh, you old cow!" Mark then puts his phone in his pocket and his hand in his pocket. Love. Love the first two scenes.
I'm over here, Dad.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. One sec, Don. Let me get a picture of you. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do that. Great shot, Don!
That's a bit horrific.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
You say that about all of them, but behind all of this. So I feel like something happens to her because she's telling this story as if she's not there. It just makes sense.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Divorce contract.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Look, I got a bean. My penis.
Hand over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. saw. Sure made it magic.
Are you joining us?
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
Darn it.
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. Wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. I think he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh, this kid's such a rebel. It's like putting middle finger up to his.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
Gus was...
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
1969 to 1982.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
A little bit. I think you're mastering what you've done with your house here.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings. Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Damn, this guy was a good painter.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room, except Louis.
Oh, you can come in my room.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
That's a bit creepy that you know what my room smells like, but okay.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. Things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
Oh, a whole new, nice.
So I let him go on. even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia.
Yes!
He built the city
I
up
knew
slowly,
that was
brick
my
by
city.
brick. Then he made musicians.
I knew I had my own town. This is my whole dream and more.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Of course I won. See, I've got the
They
polls.
begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Yes. Even more Louisville.
St. Louis.
Yes!
He started drifting
I
away
knew we
from
were
our
right
reality.
about my name.
Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
I love my towns and cities and countries.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for sinister serpents.
That I can obviously take out because this is my world.
He followed the sound of his electric sitar.
I love one.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Yet I still love it because my imagination is awesome. Like, who wouldn't want to come to Louisville?
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, He'd become something greater than a king.
No, I was not just a king, I was an emperor, I was a dictator. It's my world. I rule it.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
No.
And then it struck him.
No, you're really
that
wrong.
The real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Yes, my golden palace.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
I am the Emperor of Louisville, and I command all my loyal subjects to give me free money, and the whole Doctor Who collection. My imagination.
It was hard to argue with him.
Of course it is, it's me. Muppet.
Began to forget the world we know.
What's this place? I've never seen it before, I've only heard of Louisville.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Yeah.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
It's me.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yes, my loyal subjects. Lewis is back. The royal wave. I'm just loving it.
Including the wise Caliban who insisted on inviting me.
Lewis King. I'm gonna be knighted. Yes. Doctor's boss. Oh yes.
His prince waiting, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch's son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
You what? Did you seriously just kill me off in my own kingdom? That is out of order. That is completely out of order.
My brother was really
But I
cool.
still love that place.
I wish you
that
could have
place
met
is
him.
awesome. So who we got left? We just got Sonja, Eddie, Ida, and Dawn. Nah, I can't believe they've done that right. They got me so happy. I love my place, and then they mucked it up. The Muppets mucked it up.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
sure I just was. Do I go out the exit now? I'm guessing. He's only got 2 chapters so far, but just loving what he's done with him.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
You do? So let me guess though, let me get this straight then. I wasn't actually beheaded in Way.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Yeah, so
Maybe
what
it should
actually
have come
happened
sooner.
is I didn't get beheaded in my own kingdom. I had too big of an imagination and I ended up drifting off, and then when I was in the machine one day, thinking of
But
a
it had
fish,
to end one way or another.
I didn't, and I ended up
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
head off. Oh my god, is this her room?
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
What was the present?
the power had been shut off that morning. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Here we go.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
You sound so bad when you do that.
Around.
Mine's loose. I thought mine's stiff. Oh no, don't worry. I think yours is the one that barely moves.
For a while, I wondered. I started.
I find that easier than my one to move. Thanks for the ice cream.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
No.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Look, I got the moves.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
My mum died, didn't she?
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
That can't be the end. For Shirley Dowles, 1948. Are you kidding me? That's why. There's multiple options. This is a multiple option game.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. And said,
Together.
Well, thanks guys for
And
watching.
nights apart.
Grandma,
And
you
I
know
hope
what
you
I
guys
said
have
about
enjoyed.
alcohol.